What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Forge for Greatness. This podcast is for the builders, the creators, and the underdogs who are forging their own path. This is not just about the wins, it's about the struggles and the moments that actually forge us into the people that we are today. Today, I have the honor and privilege of having on Jordan Toma. What's going on, man?
What's up?
How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Happy to
You're
be
used
here.
to this.
I'm used to this.
Yep.
Yep.
Nationwide speaker, right?
Yes.
Go to all these different schools. You published a book a couple years ago, right?
Yep. To 2022.
Just a kid with an IEP.
Yes.
I was gonna make a joke that I didn't know what those letters stood for, but now I know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know until I got to college, so it's
Okay.
all right. So I had it.
Gotcha. So let's go all the way back in time, like to your childhood days, okay? Where did you grow up?
Grew up in East Hanover.
Okay.
I started in Catholic school, and then I went to the public school system. And school was always hard for me growing up. School was hard. Catholic school was great. I loved it there, but they didn't have the right resources for me, for the support that I needed. And then my mom was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to public school." And then I made my mark at into public school.
Got it. What was your family environment and the community environment that you grew up in? What was that like?
So my dad worked, like my dad was always working, but he was always there. He was there. He was a great dad throughout my childhood. My mom was home. She stayed at home. I have a twin brother. I have a sister that's 1 year younger than me. And we were all very different. It was a wild household. We were all like young kids going crazy. And it was fun. It was fun. I had a great childhood, had a great time, and supportive. Everyone was always there for me, great parents. It was perfect. I couldn't ask for better parents and better household.
What did success look like to you early on in your childhood?
I just thought like I had to do like I would always see my dad wake up and like leave for work. And he would get up, he would just leave for work. And I just thought, hey, one day I'm gonna have to get up and leave for work, and that was it. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else other than that, But I watched my dad work hard and but then when I was in school, I struggled. I remember struggling in school. I remember saying to myself, if I'm not good at school, I'm never gonna be able to go to work like my dad. I used to think like that even when I was really young. I used to like think like that. So I remember seeing my dad going to work, thinking in my head, I'm not gonna be able to go to work because I remember going to school and not getting it. And I used to feel like that. Even though I was so young, I still felt that.
Yeah. What was your first real win that you can remember in your childhood?
My first real win. I guess I always felt real comfortable with, making friends. Like that was what I felt like. I felt like myself and like a win. Like when I was in school and in the classroom, I didn't feel comfortable and I didn't feel like I was doing like winning. But like when I was just being myself, hanging out, riding bikes, meeting kids in the neighborhood, like at the playground, like I felt like I always like felt good after
One
that.
of the guys.
Yeah, I just like made friends. I was always able to make friends, and that was like I always just remember feeling good about that.
Okay, now transitioning.
Uh,
What were some of the early failures, mistakes that you made growing up?
just as like a younger child, like
Yeah.
school wise or like just growing up.
Just growing up in general, maybe related to school.
I say my biggest that I look back, it's like I never gave myself credit. Like anytime I like overcame something or did something, I never gave myself credit for it. I just kind of thought like nothing, I was never good enough. And I didn't believe in myself because school was hard. I thought my whole life was going to be bad. So every time I didn't understand things in school, I thought that's how it was going to be wherever I went. Like when I had a job, when I worked at the bakery or wherever I went, where I always felt like not good enough because of how I felt in school. And I feel bad feeling like that because I never gave myself a chance to be good at anything else because I thought, hey, if I'm not good here, I'm not going to be good anywhere. And looking back, I sold myself short with that for a long time, like all through school, all through everything.
But did you learn from that? Like, was
I
that a
learned,
lesson?
yeah, I learned later that
Okay.
that was, but I made that mistake for 18 years. Like I didn't really, until I proved to myself that that wasn't true, I didn't know. So I sold myself short for a long time because then I allowed that to become like my identity, like how I felt in school. Like I was just talking to one of my buddies and I said to him, like, he went to high school where I went to high school and I said, hey, when someone says your name, do you think of yourself as the person you are now or do you think of the person as you were in high school? And he was like, that's a good question. I think because like that's how I feel. Like when someone says my name or I hear my name, I almost immediately think back to how I felt when I was in high school, how I felt. Not how everyone else saw me, but how I felt about myself.
Yeah.
And that it was hard, and that was hard for me how I felt about myself to go out into the world and take chances on myself and to believe in myself. So I regret that feeling, and that's why, I do what I do now because I don't I want to show everyone, hey, your struggle is your strength, and it's before you even notice it.
Mm. I mean, we're gonna talk later on about how you got through those feelings, but looking back just on your childhood, would you say the wins or the losses shaped you more into the person that you are today?
Looking back now, the losses, yeah,
Okay.
all the losses have helped me. It helped me realize that, hey, things aren't going to work out, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And like I was so used to just things not working out that I was used to it, and it helped me for that reason.
That
But
internal feeling of never feeling like enough, does that still sit with you? Or do you still, or have you gotten past that?
no, I still feel like that. Like I still feel like I have something to prove for myself to feel
Mhm.
good, but I'm better. I'm accepting like to like, hey, like I giving myself credit, but I still have like I'm still that kid in middle school and high school. I'm still there. So that's kind of gives me that edge as I keep working harder and keep trying new things. And I always have new ideas and new things I want to do.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself like that, hey, like you can do it. Like don't think like you can't. Like in the beginning of all of this, like I would always like kind of doubt myself or ask other people. And then I
Mhm.
had to really just ask myself and be, hey, I can do this. I'm gonna do this.
Got it. So, school. Let's hone in on school. And obviously, you had some learning disabilities.
Yeah, I learned disabilities. School was hard.
Mhm.
Everything in school was hard. Like everything. Just sitting in class, trying to understand it, sitting still. Everything going to school was hard, which made it hard for me to want to go, which gave me anxiety to go because every time I went in, it'd feel good. So everything that had to do with me going to school was scary and hard every day. So that whole experience was hard for me.
When did you launch your brand, your business?
So I launched it in 2017. That's when I like officially like kind of created everything.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like the title of my business, I'm just a kid with an IEP. So when I was at Centenary, I was just trying to figure myself out, and I was in this program called the Step Ahead program, which was a summer school program that I had to go to before they accepted me, which helps you acclimate to college before everyone gets there. So I went there. So before when I got accepted to Centenary, and they were like, "Hey, you can come to Centenary, but you got to come to the Step Head program." And I remember being at Centenary, and the head of the child study team was coming from all these different towns, and they were like, "Hey, how does it feel to be in college? With learning disability?" And I didn't know how to answer that. I was just new to college, and I was like, "I don't know. I'm just a kid with an IEP." And they all
Mhm.
started laughing, and that's kind of like how I got the
And
name.
it kind of stuck.
It
Yeah.
stuck because everyone liked it, and I'm like, and then I remember like it was like that was like 2010 maybe, and then I just never forgot about it. And then 2017, I said I'm gonna do this.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah.
What sparked that? Like, what made you say, okay, I'm doing this?
So I was in the financial service business, and I'm doing it, and I'm successful there, and I love people. So like I'm meeting people, I'm growing my own business. I like working for myself. I like working really hard, and I just love it. So,
Yeah.
but I don't like that's not in my mind. I know that's not what I was supposed to do.
Called to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So like in my brain, so like I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I remember just saying about there's no way I'm gonna like wake up. I'm 36 now, but I used to say I'm not gonna be 40, and I'm not doing this at 40.
Yeah.
I say to myself. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go make sure no one gives up on themselves because I would have never got to this point if I didn't give up on myself, right? Or I didn't have someone that believed in me. So I gotta go make sure these kids get through these moments that they think they're gonna last forever, but they're not, and help them push through to get to how I see myself now. So then that's what I did. I'm doing this
Love it. Let's talk about the early stages of the business though, right now. So, early wins
in the
in your
business.
first year or two of doing this.
So I opened the LLC. I made my logo. I guess one of my really early wins was I started looking up like websites, and I found this website in Michigan, and I was like, "Hey, can I put my logo and a little blurb about me?" And I just emailed this lady, and she wrote back. She's like, "Hey, I love it. I'll put it on there." She put me on her website, and then I was trying to get into schools anywhere, all over the country. I bought a list of every high school principal in America. I made a postcard. This cost me over 4 grand. I made a postcard.
Hmm.
And on the postcard, I put like Jordan Toma, motivational speaker, dyslexia, ADHD, calling principals, all these things, right? and I went on Vistaprint, and I created this whole thing. Spent 4 grand, sent it out. They sent a postcard to every high school principal in America,
That's
right?
awesome.
No one writes back
Okay.
except one school in Alabama. I just know because I just remember this happened to me. And I get this email back, and this lady just writes, "Hey, you spelled the word principal wrong." And I did. I used the other principal. You know what I mean? Like there's principal for a
Yep,
school
yep.
because I don't know. I messed up. I
Yeah.
can't proofread my own stuff, and I have no patience, or I'm like a kind of person that just does it. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, and I felt bad. So, so then I was real upset about it because I'm like, I just did this and I spelled it wrong, but I had to like shake it off. And right after that, right after like a really bad, like I felt really bad about that because I was like, wow, that was such a big mess up, you know? I was in Orlando. I had a conference because I won it with what I was doing with my job. And I get to this conference in Orlando, and for my company that I'm at, not with my speaking business, and there's a teachers convention in the same hotel. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So I go to the computer in the little center, and I print out like a bio of myself, and I go into the teacher convention. I'm like, hey, who's in charge here? Can I speak to all the teachers when they're eating lunch on that microphone? And they're like, go speak to the guy in charge. I'm like, all right. And I go walk up to this guy randomly. I'm like, hey, can I speak to the guy? Like, who are you? Right.
That's so
And
funny.
I'm like, he's like, yeah, he's like, but like, I'm like, I got to do this because like, this is like, I felt like it was like the
Your
universe
calling.
putting it in
Yeah.
front of me. Like, why is this happening? So I went up to the guy. The guy reads my bio, goes, this is not appropriate for my luncheon. You cannot do this. Get out of here. And he kicks me out. And I remember I got so mad. I went to my room and I looked up every educational conference like going on.
Yeah.
And I emailing everyone. This lady writes back, "Hey Jordan, I just saw your email. I would love for you to come speak at my conference. Because I wrote, I will speak for free. I'll do any. Just give me a chance."
Give me a shot.
And
Yeah.
funny enough, it was in Orlando. Like a few months later, flew back to Orlando. I I spoke in front of the whole conference.
Yeah.
After I spoke in the whole front of the whole conference, I booked my first school in Oklahoma after that. But so it took like all that to happen
Yeah. That's
for
a
me to
wild
just keep,
chain of
yeah,
events. Yeah.
yeah. So like I never, and I always think about that moment. Like I never would have got to that conference in Orlando and that school in Oklahoma if I didn't just keep trying and pushing and getting rejected. But I had to do it, you know, and because it led me to going to my room and like emailing every conference, getting mad that I just got rejected
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
it,
fucking love that.
yeah,
That's
so it
awesome.
forced me to like, and then that's kind of started the whole, started getting out there more. But that was like my first win in the business early when nobody knew me.
I love it. Talk to me about your first mistakes that you made early on because,
Yeah.
it's a new business, it's a new brand.
So some of my mistakes, I'd say, when I was speaking, right? Because being a speaker is scary. It's scary to get up there. I'm always scared. And one thing I've learned not to do in the beginning, I did this. I would always kind of think about what I was going to say. I was like, oh, I got an hour. I want to say this. I want to hit this point. I want to say this. That was a mistake because when you get up there, you're worried about what you want to say. But if you can get on stage and have a clear mind and subconsciously, you know what you got to say. You know inside your heart, like what you really want to say.
Yeah.
You just go up there with a clear mind, you do your thing, everything will come out natural and perfect the way you want it. And you don't have to have like this pre planned speech in your brain.
Mm.
In the beginning, I used to worry about that. Like, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Now I'm just like giving the mic, whatever happens, happens, you know? But I learned that through getting up there and like making those mistakes and trying to do that. And then like still the kids had a good time and it was still like I felt good about it and I reached kids, but it wasn't as natural as I wanted it and I knew it could be better. And I've learned that I can't pre-plan what I'm going to say. I got to know my topic and what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go with my intuition.
Subconsciously,
I know it's going to come out the way it's going to come out.
What's been the biggest mistake? Those were little mistakes, right? What's been the biggest mistake or failure or challenge?
In business
Yeah.
or I would say I don't know if I made any mistakes, but I think the biggest, like I've done a lot of things like trying to figure it out. So the way I do my presentations it's very interactive.
Mm-hmm.
I bring a lot of gifts and I ask a lot of questions to the students because I want them to be a part of the assembly. So in the beginning, what I was doing, I was buying shirts, I was buying all these gifts and I was putting them in a suitcase. And I would say this is more of a challenge, not a mistake, because you have to make mistakes, right, to learn. So
Yeah.
like this helped me. So what I did was I got booked to speak in Minnesota, and I was like, okay, it was a big middle school, so I just ordered all these shirts, put them in a book bag, shirts, beanies, all this stuff, hoodies. I didn't count 'em. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was spending, nothing. I put them in there, and I went to speak in Minnesota. I was going to speak at this big middle school. I knew there was a theater in Grand Forks, North Dakota. So I called up the theater. I'm like, hey, can I rent out your theater? I'm going to be there. I'll sell tickets online. They're like, all right, it's a nonprofit theater. It's only $100 for the night. I'm like, let's do it. It was a beautiful theater. And when I got there, I went online, posted the tickets, sold like 300 tickets. People came from all over. I spoke there. While I'm there speaking, I'm giving all these gifts. This woman comes up to me. She's like, hey, Jordan. She's like, you bring all your stuff in a suitcase? You're just making this up? I'm like, yeah. She's like, we have a company. We can get you these things made. You can store them with us. We can ship them to all these things. It just makes your life so much easier. I'm like, let's do it. So now, still today, they're in North Dakota, great company.
Yeah, yeah.
They store I buy everything in bulk. They have everything on my racks. I say, hey, I'm going to be speaking in Minnesota. I'm going to be speaking in New Jersey. I was speaking in New York. They ship all my gifts exactly per school. I know exactly what's in the boxes, how much it costs, ships to every school,
Makes
and
your
we're all
life
set.
easier.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I was just making mistakes like I didn't know. So like I spent a lot of money making mistakes, but
Mhm.
I needed to. You need to make mistakes. You need to try things, and then you're gonna lose money. You're gonna make mistakes, but you'll figure it out.
Um, Failures and mistakes, staying on that. Anything related to family or just personal life that you went through that you had to overcome that may or may not have affected your business?
Um, I guess just with understanding that the people in my life and my family wanted the best for me the whole time, even though they were felt like they were annoying me and driving me crazy. The whole time they were fighting for me. So I think just like, if I saw that sooner, and that's kind of like the foundation of what I speak about is that like, you got to listen to the people that love you and care about you. And like for me, it was my mom, my dad, the people in
Yeah.
my life that were like, I always thought like they didn't know, but they knew the whole time. So, that was something that I kind of regret not understanding as I was younger, but now I get it. And
Yeah.
now I understand and I try to help kids see that too. Cause like who else do you got? If you don't have got people in your family's like your number one, right? For most of the time. Sometimes it could be someone else, but
Yeah.
for me it was that.
So you took your leap of faith, 2017, launched your brand, launched your business.
Yes.
You're very successful. And what was your forging moment? What was your aha moment like when it just clicked in your head like this is what I am meant to do and this is working?
It was so what happened so you when really knew I had to do this more was when after my events, kids usually come running up, and they tell me their stories about their life, and I have thousands of stories of kids just telling me things that they've never told anyone. And what I've realized is at that moment when kids would tell me things they never told their parents, never told their counselors, never told anyone, I needed to keep doing it. And I would just hear, and then I would be like, sometimes they just want a hug, and sometimes
Yeah.
they just, or they would send me messages, and all the messages from all the kids are all on my website, everything they ever sent me. Um, and it made me realize kind of what my message was really about. Even though I had a message that I wanted to give them, it I've learned so much from all the kids, and when
Mhm.
they come back and tell me how their life and they feel and what they're telling me, then I'm like, hey, I got it. This is why this is important. And then I was like, I got to keep doing this. And then because every school I go to, everywhere I go, I get thousands of kids that come up and they tell me everything. And
Mhm.
and middle school, high school, it's always a different story, but it's the same
Yeah.
foundation of what's going on wherever I go. And there's thousands and thousands of kids or even adults. You never know what anyone's going through. You never know how hard it was for them to show up today. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know anything. And so when I go into a school, I always remember that one moment of that one student telling me that, and I think about that, and I make sure that like when I go into a school, like I give everything that I have, and because you never know how you can make someone feel just in that 1 hour, 2 hour assembly, and that really stuck with me because I had no idea. And then, gave them a hug, and we still keep in contact, and they're okay, but they just need to see that, hey, I'm going to be okay. I'm not alone, because the big thing was all over the country, a lot of these kids think they're alone. They think they're the only ones. And once you realize that you're not, it
Everyone's
changes the
going
way.
through
Everyone's
something.
going through something, and then you don't feel so alone. Then it shows the kids that maybe feel like they're not seen, they feel seen, and then they see the other kids that are struggling that maybe they feel like have it all,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, like we're all in the same boat here.
Mhm. So before we transition into the final segment, the Forged Five is what we call it on this. Like, there's ebbs and flows in every business. And obviously, there's good times and there's not so good times. In those not so good times, how do you handle the pressure?
So you got it. Number one, you got to stick to what you've been doing the whole time. You can't veer off. Like you got to stay focused. You got to stay positive. You can't like get scared of things going on. Even with my speaking business, like, a lot of these schools, they're funded by so many. A lot of these events are funded by so many different things: grants, PTAs, school budgets. It's everything, and or nonprofits will fund it. But
Yeah.
and everything is up and down. But if you stick to what you're doing and your mission, like just stay focused and the people around you having and investing in good people around you, you'll stay focused, you stay positive, and you'll break through and you'll be fine. And I've been in that situation where it's been like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And even still, like I'm still fairly new to out here in the world, like speaking in the speaking
Yeah.
world. And we've had ups and downs, things, and you just kind of I always just say, just it's all gonna work out. Just
Yeah.
gotta keep moving,
Have you ever felt like quitting at any point?
A couple times in the beginning when I could not get into anywhere, nobody would answer my emails, no one knows my phone. Like I felt like, man, maybe this is like insane. Maybe like, because like I didn't really have anyone in my life to be like, hey, like I would tell my parents, hey, I'm gonna do this. My parent, my mom would be like, you're gonna do it, but like I didn't it was scary because I had a mortgage, I had kids, I had my wife, I had my whole life, and then I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna like stop doing this. I'm gonna just start this." So like I needed to make it work no matter what. So I had a lot of pressure, but the pressure was good for me to push through. So
Are
like
there specific people or moments that made you not quit and forge ahead?
it was really like the all the messages I would get from parents and kids on social media in the beginning. Like, because what happened was I was making videos online since 2017. And nobody really watched, and I was putting it out there, and like I would get a decent amount of views, but not a lot. And then TikTok came out, and I was like one of the first people on the app. It's like 2019, like I'm on the TikTok app, and I'm
Yeah.
on there, and I I'm making videos, and I make a video about my mom just in my basement, just randomly, and that video takes off, gets millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
It's the first time I kind of went viral, and that's when, like, I started to get out there more, but I was making videos for 7 years and nobody watched, but I just kept
Yeah,
making them, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to make a video, and it's hard because I wanted to be natural. I just wanted to make a video. I didn't wanna, like, read off. I just wanna be myself.
Mhm.
So I would just make videos like that, but then one day I just woke up and that kinda, like, made me, like gave me a little bit more momentum to
Okay.
get out there, and then things happened. When that happened, I self-published my book right around this time, and the Today Show called me, and everything started to kinda happen, but it was, like, 7 years of not giving up, you know?
Sometimes it takes that long and sometimes it
That's
takes
it.
even longer.
That's it, and you can't quit. Like, you literally if you stick to something long enough, you'll figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
And you gotta stay away from, like, anyone negative, anyone doubting you. You can't listen to it because it's too hard out there. How
Yeah.
could you handle all the rejection? And some people that are close to you, like, you know
Speaking on that though, let's stay on that. Should you not listen to any of the doubters, the naysayers, the non-believers? Because I feel like in my solo podcasts, my certain family members doubted me and they still doubt me to this day, what I'm doing for a living.
Right, right.
But I use those doubts as motivation to keep going, to keep moving forward, to keep getting better.
Right, right. You should. That's what you should do. You should do that, but you can't let them like go further than that. Like you can't.
Mhm.
I just don't like to hear it because then it makes me think about it. But like,
Yeah.
I also do get mad too. Like, hey, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong too. It's
Yeah.
good for that. But yeah, you should listen to it like maybe for a second.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you later.
But that shouldn't be the sole thing that
No,
motivates you.
you
Yeah.
got to stay like so positive where you're almost like delusionally positive. And hey, I always say it's either gonna work or it's gonna work. That's it. I
Yeah.
never give myself a way out.
I like that.
Like it's either gonna work or it's gonna work. My mom's like, "You sure? Oh my God, it's gonna work." Even when I
Only
was
two
buying real estate, that's
options.
it. It's gonna work.
Yes and yes.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
I like that.
Even when I was buying real estate, I remember telling my parents I'm gonna do this and this because I wanted to create a passive income for me to be able to focus on my speaking business, and
Yeah.
I knew I needed to do it. And everyone was like, "This is crazy," and I'm like, "It's gonna work. It's gonna work. That's it." I don't want to hear it. I'm out. See you later. I can't listen unless someone has done what I'm trying to do. Like, okay, and then usually they're a little more positive, and they give you, but someone who hasn't really been there, it's hard for them to be positive in a way because they don't know. They're scared too for
Yeah,
their own thoughts.
exactly. Of
So you can't really take it personally either. Like even if it's family members and loved ones, like sometimes they're trying to protect you too in a way.
course.
So you got to know kind of where it's coming from. Like it's not like so negative, but you got to weigh it out.
I feel you. I feel you on that. So, Forge 5. I'm going to ask you 5 questions
Okay.
that I ask every guest. You can expand upon your answers, or you can just give me, 1 word, 2 word answers. Up to you. So, what is a habit that you attribute most of your growth to?
I'd say a habit that I make sure I wake up every day, right? And I look around and I'm very grateful for my life, right? And I look at everything, my kids, my life, and I use that like, hey, I'm up, I'm awake, I'm gonna go for a run. Like I use that as like, hey, like I'm already okay. So whatever happens after this is just like the icing on the cake. So I'm good. So I use that for me. So like I give myself this floor of like, hey, I'm good no matter what. I'm gonna work hard, and but that floor helps me, stay positive all the time.
You wake up grateful
Wake
for
up just
everything.
grateful for everything, everything, just anything, just happy to be up. The sun's up, whatever. I'm good, and I use it as a floor, and then that helps me a lot with whatever comes my way. I'm okay. If that can go wrong, that can go wrong. I still got this.
Got it. I love that. Because I'm new, I forget some of my
Don't
own
worry.
questions.
Don't worry.
What is what is a failure that you're most grateful for?
um, I'd say probably maybe when I failed out of my first high school, I learned a lot about. I failed out there. Looking back, like that moment, I remember when I was at that school and I needed something just to go good. Like I need something to go right, and I wanted to like just make it there so bad, and I
Yeah.
didn't, and then I failed out. If I didn't go through that moment, I don't think I would have came back like how I am now. I think it was a big part
Shaping
of
you.
yeah, shaping me and like giving me this like because I after I failed out of that high school and I went back to public school, I gave up on myself for like a long time. I just said whatever, I'm just gonna fail everything, and I failed everything. And then Centenary gave me a chance to go to that step ed program, and that changed my life. Like that finally had people that believe in me and showed me and cared about me, and I saw success for the first time in my life. And but that moment at that school, I needed a good moment, and I didn't get it. And I think that really bad moment led me to good moments later, like
Got it.
it's 10 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
So it helped me a lot.
What is one truth you wish you would have learned sooner?
That betting on me was the answer. I had to bet on myself, nobody else, me. And I waited too long to
Mm.
do that. I took too long to really go all in on me.
When did you start going all in on you?
Right after that summer program, when I literally did my first assignment on my own,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, like I can do this. Like I never felt like success before. And I did my first paper on my own. I handed it, got a grade back, and I remember going like, hey, like I can really do this. And I would go to the library all night long. I'd rewrite all my notes, and I started to work really hard. And that was like the foundation of like saying, hey, I'm gonna work real hard in school. Then I'm gonna take the same effort that I put into school, which is hard for me, and I'm gonna apply it to everything else in my life. And that is what I did. And then so whenever I worked really hard in school, worked really, really hard, then I got out of school, my job, whatever it was, I gave it my all, just like I gave in school. And it was so hard for me to do what I did in school that when I later in my life got the things that weren't as hard as school for me, but I still worked just as hard, it kind of gave me this edge, against the world.
Against the world. So, what keeps you grounded when things get overwhelming, things get chaotic, stressful?
I would say just the going back home, with my kids and just like playing Uno with my son, and like when the whole thing, everything like, come back home, just like it's just like regular life,
Yeah.
like my son's like, hey, can we go on the ride on? And he wants to ride around in the street in his ride on. I just like chase him behind him like just another day,
Mhm.
and
How many kids do you have?
two.
2. Nice. Boy and
Yeah,
girl?
boy and girl. Yeah, so I think my kids is like just like it brings me back to like real like what life's all about.
Yeah. Talk about like spending time with family. Obviously, you're on the road, what, every other
I'm on
week?
yeah, a lot. So, but I'm about to hit my 100th school in New Jersey. So in the beginning
That's
of my
awesome.
speaking career, like no, I couldn't get into New Jersey at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like in Nebraska, Kansas, all these for some reason I was out there. Nobody from New Jersey was like,
Midwest.
yeah, I was in the Midwest. So they were like, come on
I don't
in.
know if that's how they talk out
Nah,
there.
they were just like, yeah, they're just like, come on in,
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
want me want a Jersey guy, but no one in Jersey like would let me in yet. And I guess they didn't know me. So yeah, so then so I was gone for a while, but I've been home, more home. But even like I was just in New York for Monday through Thursday, and I did 5 schools, and I'm gone at like 4 a.m. I'm home at like 2,
yeah. Yeah,
and then like before you know it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed. So
yeah.
like so it's hard. It's a lot, and
How do you balance that? Like, how do you balance spending time with family and
so what I
your
try to
career?
do is when I come home, like let's say I speak at 2 schools, and I get home at 3 o'clock. My son gets home at 3. Like I just will hang out with him. I'll go to practice where I coach some of his practices. I go to his practice, come home, we do homework, we do bath time, the whole thing. I just like turn on like dad mode, So like I make sure that like, the best I can. I have my phone, it's
Mhm.
hard. Like I get emails, my phone rings, but I really try to like just be a dad when I get home and hang out with my kids. And
Do you go back to work when they go to sleep?
sometimes like I'm working on my book, so like
Yeah.
I need that quiet. So like my house is not quiet. It's like 4 a.m. or it's 9:30 at night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I'll work a little bit, but then I'll just pass out. So like I try to like
What's the title of your new book coming out?
new book is gonna be called "Don't Forget About the Kids in the Back." The title I'm working on it right now. I'm gonna call it Invisible, and
Okay.
then the underneath it's gonna say "Don't Forget About the Kids in the Back." And what it's about. So I've learned this from all the schools I've been to all over the country, and it's cool because I have this unique experience that I can write about this. And it shows in the book. I'm writing it for teachers, administrators, anyone that works with kids all day. Doesn't matter
Mhm.
that you can't just like go to work as a teacher or an educator or a secretary, security guard, whatever, and just think like everything like just like go through the motion. Like you're with these kids who you can change their whole life with one thing. Like just believing in them, giving them a hug, smile, hey, how's your day? You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So in these chapters I write about, hey, the kid that sits in the back, the kid that sits in the front, the kid that's always been, the greatest student of all time,
Mhm.
the quiet one, like you don't know anything. And but by you just being a good person and just checking in, you got to pay attention. I'm at a school for 2 hours and I pay attention to everyone in the auditorium, but then I'm gone. These teachers and everyone in the school, they're there every day, so they can see what's going on in the hallways. They see who's eating alone at lunch. They see maybe who's not being nice, and you gotta be there at all times to see what's going on, make everyone feel seen and feel like they're okay because they're at a point in their life where they're gonna hold things in. They're not gonna tell you, but you're witnessing it, and by you being a good person and noticing it and making them feel good, you have the power to change their whole life. So the whole book is about how powerful these anyone that works in the school district, in the school system with these students really are when shaping the student's future. And I've learned a lot by just being with all these kids and what's really going on because you would never know. You would know
Love it.
unless you're out there.
When are you launching that?
I'm hoping to finish it by September. So like the way I write my books, I literally just type and that's it. And then I don't think about it.
Just like that?
That's it. I'm just like this all day. And that's it. I just type like this. And then I'm like, all right, it's good. I'm not changing anything because whatever comes out, it comes out. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that's why I don't like have any publishers. I just do it myself, self-publish because I don't want anyone to change the way I write it.
You know, I thought
Eh,
about this the other day. It's crazy. I was like, ChatGPT can probably write a book for you now.
Yeah, but then it won't be real. It could. It probably
No,
could.
I know, but
Yeah, you
like you
could.
can
Like,
give it like all the information
yeah,
and
you
then it
could.
just like boop, boop, boop.
It really could. Like
It's
that's well, there's gonna be
crazy.
a lot of authors
It's wild.
because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just like have ChatGPT write a book.
I thought of you've obviously seen Home Alone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought of a horror version of Home Alone
Yeah. You can make your own movie and
and asking ChatGPT
yeah,
to write the fucking
and
whole
then sell
script.
it to Netflix.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
crazy.
it's crazy.
It's a
AI's taking over.
wild, wild times that we're living
I
in.
know, and that's why it's gonna be hard to like.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing. Like it's gonna be hard to be like authentic
Yeah.
and real in
Yep.
this world now because it's taking over.
Your personal brand's gonna drive everything.
You have a personal brand. You got to be a
Yeah.
real thing because it's gonna be hard to tell what's real and what's not.
Yep.
Yeah,
You might be AI right now. We don't even
I
know. The
know.
audience doesn't
I
even know.
know. No, no, they won't. That's the scary part.
Oh my God. So, throwing a little curveball here. Another question. I'm adding to the list. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned over the course of life, over the course of your career?
I would say when it comes to like myself, um, and what I do, I'd say, when you go do something, like think about, your own life, but also think about how it's going to help someone. So like
Mhm.
whatever I do, I always think about, hey, how can I, yes, it's something that I want to do, but how can I help others?
Bring value to others.
Yeah, just help them, help someone feel good about themselves, whatever it is. Even today, like I was driving to the gym earlier over here, and I see this lady. I've seen her before, and she's walking to work on Hanover Road,
Mhm.
and she's got a cane. Like this is insane to me. And so I pull
She was
over.
hitchhiking?
No, she was just walking to work. So like, I couldn't believe she was walking with a cane on Hanover Road this morning. So I pull over. I'm like, hey, I'm like, I'll drive you. Where are you going? And it was like 2 miles. She jumps in the car. She didn't really know much English, but nice lady
Yeah,
from Haiti.
that's
And
awesome.
I drove her to her work. Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, but in my mind, I'm like, look at all these cars just letting someone with a
I
cane
fucking love that, man.
walk down
Yeah,
Hanover Road in the snow. Like nobody stops,
yeah,
right? And like in my mind, I'm like, I always look for like things like that. Like, so when it comes to business like that, just the same, I'm just giving you an example of
yeah.
how I try to like what I've learned, what I use, and I that's how I live my life like that. Like if someone's walking with a cane, oh, where are you going? I
How
can go
can
to
I
the gym
help
after.
someone today?
Yeah. And I just drop her off, and then she said, God bless you, see you later. That was it. But she should have to walk 10 miles, and it's crazy. So that's how I think about
So
like
she didn't
everything.
have the cane out like she was hitchhiking,
No, she didn't want
trying
help.
to hitch a ride.
No, no, and I've done this before where I've asked people for, and they don't want to get in. And I
Yeah,
get it because
yeah.
it's scary. I don't think I look too scary, but when somebody says,
You
"Hey,
never know. You
you
never
never
know.
know,"
You
you
never
can't.
know.
Yeah, when people tell me, they're like, "No, no," I'm like, "All right, I
We
get
might we might not leave the studio today.
it." I know. I'll be like, "Hey, this guy picks people up on the road." No,
Oh my god.
but if you see me and if anyone's watching, I pick you up. I'm a nice guy. I'll drive you to your work and I'll go on with my day. But I'm just trying to help out. But yeah. Yeah, I get why they don't want to do it.
Oh my god. You might be kidnapping us in my own studio.
Yeah. No, I'd be scared too. If someone asked me, I'd be like, eh.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's funny. Last question, man. What does forged for greatness mean to you?
I'd, I'd say it means you know what you got to do inside. You know who you are. You know what you want to do, and you got to be courageous enough to go get it. And you got to go do it, and you can't allow anything to stop you. You gotta know who you are. You gotta know why you want to do it, and you gotta go do it. And like any idea you have in your brain is unique to you, and you gotta force through and do it. That's it. You gotta take the risk on yourself, and you gotta do it. You can't. Or one day, I could be 100 years old, and you're gonna be like, man, I had all these ideas, all the thing I wanted to do, and
I
I
wish
didn't
I
do it.
did this. I wish I did
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
time is like just going. My son's 6. Like I can't believe it. Like it's just going, and you can't waste time. You gotta just try, 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 try. The sooner you try, the sooner you go for it, the more time you have figuring it out, you'll all work out. Look at all these companies and businesses. If
Yeah.
you read about them, they start off early with not knowing what they're doing, but they never give up. No matter what, no matter how much money they lose, whatever, they just keep staying in the game, staying in the game, and eventually they're there. So that's what it means.
So, a little analogy here, right? Let's pretend this is a video game. The highest level is level 30. What level are you at right now?
Oh, in my life
Yeah.
or with my career,
Both.
I would say I'm just warming up. I'm probably like level 1.
Okay.
I have a lot more to go.
All right.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. Like this is it. This is my level. I feel like I'm at level 1. Like I never feel like I'm not even close to where I want to be and what I want to do. I have more books to write. I want to make a movie out of it. I want to create. I have website ideas. I have so many different things that I want to do that I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just warming up.
Just warming up.
And when it comes to this, with helping
Just
schools,
preheating that oven before you stick your
yeah, I'm
turkey.
just
Yeah.
excited, man. I got like so many ideas. I'll just do everything, and I'll take the risk on anything. And then I love real estate too, and I
Yeah.
like that aspect of my life, and I want to build that. So there's so many different things I'm trying to do, and then hopefully I can just build this foundation of like, hey, like realistically, like for like anyone watching, including my own kids, like, hey, like got an idea, go for it, go do it, and like regardless if it doesn't work out, like who you become in the process is really working out. Like who you become is what works out, not just the business, but you. And then that's what you take on to your next business and your next goal and your next moment, you know? So,
How long you think till you get to level 30?
oh,
Or is that
how
just
old am I?
you
36? I don't know, man. Level 30? Maybe when
when
I'm
you turn 37?
September 2nd.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, like level 30, maybe when I'm like 70. Yeah, a lot of years, man. I don't know if I'll
You
be
got a
jumping.
long way to go, man.
I don't know if I'll be jumping off stages at that point. But
You'll probably have that lady. You'll probably have to borrow that lady's cane.
yeah. Especially if I keep jumping off stage, my knees hurt already.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But like, I think there's so many different stages. Like as you get older, you kind of look at life differently, you know. And because like being 36 now, I've learned a lot. Like when you're 36, you kind of know a little bit more about yourself and your life. So who knows what happens in 40 when I'm 40.
You just remind me of a question that I forgot to ask you in the beginning. What is success for you today compared to what it was in childhood?
So success for me today is literally just waking up, doing something that I love to do, being able to provide for my family, and not feeling like I'm working. Like that's what like success is for me. So like my life right now, like I was talking to my mom about it the other day. I'm like I wake up every day like I don't feel like I'm working. I love my life. I'm so grateful for like how it's worked out to this point. So like this is success for me. Like I got my family. I can doing what I love to do. Like I'm already like in my mind like right now I can say, hey, I'm so happy, like I'm there. But I have more inside that I want. Like when you say levels, like right now, if you said, George, where you stop, all right, I'm content with me doing this for the rest of my life where I'm at right now, staying here, because I'm just so happy doing it. But I have more ideas that I want to, put out there and do. And like, and it all goes back to like, I really want to make sure from just doing this is make sure like kids don't give up on themselves throughout the process of struggle, you know, because so many kids, so many people are struggling and everyone holds it in, no one says anything. And once you realize that, hey, everything that you struggle with really is your greatest strength, like you're unstoppable. And that's like what I want to do. But there's different ways to get that message out there and help people. And then it's a domino effect, right? Then they go overcome something and someone's inspired by them and then someone else. And it just kind of helps the whole world.
Yeah. Jordan, man, pleasure having you on here, man.
Thanks
You
for having me.
are an inspiration to so many people. You've already inspired thousands, maybe even millions of people. Where can people find you and your work?
Find me on Instagram, just type my name in, Jordan Toma. Facebook, I'm just a kid with an IEP, LLC, and then my website is jordantoma.com.
Love it.
And I'm out there. I'm on LinkedIn everywhere. You can find me. Just
And
Google
the
me.
name of the new book?
Name of the new book is Don't Forget About the Kids in the Back. I am typing it like this right now. Every day I'm trying to get like a chapter a day, but like I need to get this done in my mind by September, and I'm just gonna keep doing it.
You're right over there?
Oh,
Like, what's going on over there?
she put that. That was good. And this is my current book right now, which I self-published. I'm just giving IEP. And this school bus, just here's a funny story about this cover. Just to tell you. So this is school bus is at HP. So I literally was working on this book, and I was like, hey, to my wife, I was like, hey, let's go over to HP. Can you order me a book bag on Amazon? Have any book bags? She buys this book bag. I put it on my back. I walk in front of the school bus, and I took a picture of it. And I just put my head down like in front of the bus because that every time the bus would come to pick me up, I would get like this panic attack when I was younger, and I would freak out, and I would just wouldn't get on the bus.
Yeah.
And now, but I wanted the bus on my cover of my book because that was my biggest fear, but also it became my greatest asset because I've overcame it.
Yeah.
So, but then when I put this picture on, I realized it said the school's name. So what I did, if you look closely on the cover of the book, I literally just went on paint and I just scribbled like out over the name. Like you could see like the scribble all over it.
That's so
And I
funny.
just sent it into the
And it looks
the
like
company.
it just
It
part of the
doesn't,
bus.
yeah, it's just part of the bus. And
That's
like,
so funny.
yeah, you can't really tell. I didn't even do that great of a job, but I was like, I can't put this on a book. Then I was like, yeah, no one's gonna read it anyway. I wasn't thinking. And like, thank God I did that.
That's
And
hilarious.
yeah,
Where can people grab a copy of that?
so it's on Amazon. You can get it online, Amazon. Amazon on my website, but on Amazon or all over online if you can find it.
Love it. Jordan,
Yeah.
once again, man, much appreciated.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much,
you
man.
coming on, sharing your story. I'm sure it's going to motivate and inspire millions.
Yes.
And what's next for you, man?
Right now I'm working on getting into. I'm doing a lot of opening days for schools, more corporate stuff. That's my next because schools. I love speaking to kids, and I'll always do that. And now I'm working on that, on more like corporate, because when I speak at the corporate events, they all have kids, but they also were a kid at one point, so they can relate on two ways.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting for me to go do that, and it's always awesome. And then I have a website I'm trying to create right now. This book, a million things. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to
Million
do.
ideas. You're just trying
Yeah,
to
I got all my
narrow it
ideas.
down.
One thing you should tell your listeners to always do when you have an idea, like when you get an idea, write it down because it will go away.
Yeah.
And if you get an idea, it's important, it's special. You got to use it, put it down so you don't lose it because that idea is important. Like you got to take it, you got to run with it. So like every time I get an idea, I just type it in I text myself. So
I built this platform for not only people like ourselves that are underdogs, still trying to ascend to level 30, but also for people that are still on the fence, right? They might have a great idea for a business or a brand, and they're just afraid to pull the trigger.
yeah, that's all.
What do you say? What do you say to those people?
That the only regret you'll ever have is looking back and not pulling the trigger. You'll never feel bad about doing it and not working out. You won't. Like you have to do it. Like everything I've ever tried, like I'm like, all right, I went for it.
Yeah.
There's like an old quote, like um, the man that went to the went to the arena, right? Like not the one watching, but you got to go to the arena. You got to go in for it. You got to go for it because you won't regret it, and because it's a win-win. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. But who you become, like I said before, is what really works out. So that's why you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You got to look at it as who you are, not just like the business or the idea. Like separate that from the situation and just do it because like you said you're going to do it, you have an idea, and yeah, maybe you'll mess up, maybe you'll whatever, and then after you do that, your next idea, you'll learn from that, but who you became you'll take with you, and that's why you have to do it, or you stay the same person, and that's the whole point. Like you don't want to be the same person, you want to grow and change every day, so you got to take those risks on yourself, you got to do it, and that's the only way you build it.
Almost finished here, I promise. I know you probably have
I think I'm good today, I'm chilling
something to
today,
go to.
I'm very relaxed today,
All
so
right.
I have a very calm day.
Like, you know Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Yeah,
You know how he has like Vayner speakers,
yeah, yeah,
a team of speakers?
yeah, yeah.
Has that ever come across your mind of assembling a team of people
So
that,
I thought about, so I know a lot of awesome speakers. So when I first started, right, and I wanted to speak, I DM'd all the speakers I looked up to, all of them. And I DM'd all of them. And I was like, hey, my name's Jordan. I'm trying to be a speaker. Please, like, give me some advice. Nobody responded except like random people. They were like, oh, talk to my assistant. You got to pay like $2,000. And I wanted advice so bad. So now I get tons of DMs. I really try to look at all my DMs the best I can. I respond to, and I have tons of speakers that reach out to me, and I have so many speakers that say, "Hey Jordan, can you help me? Can you help me?"
yeah, yeah.
And I go, "What's your sell?" And I just call them. I tell them everything. I'm like, every mistake I made. But I've met a lot of awesome people with some awesome stories, and I'd love to like build that around me. And like when schools say, "Hey Jordan, you spoke here last year. Do you have anyone you recommend?" So like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm working on that. So
Okay.
like
Getting a team in place.
getting a team in place. Just I have to go work with them and hear them speak. You know.
My crew is, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The crew's quit. The crew's quitting on you.
Once again, I said this 2 or 3 times already, but thanks so much, man, for coming
God,
on.
thanks for having me.
And once again, if this episode hits home with you, share it with a loved one, drop some love in the comments on YouTube, send us a message on Instagram, and make sure to go follow Jordan on Instagram as well as Facebook. You
Facebook,
mentioned
TikTok, all over there.
jordantoma.com.
JordanToma.com, the website.
Appreciate you, bro.
You got it.
Once again, this is Forge for Greatness. Greatness isn't given, it is forged. Thanks, you guys, for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.